I've been a very lucky man. Started off with my career when I was in the school, when I was in Wellington School, just up the road here. Then I was called up in 47, went into the RAF, had the family business, which was a quarry producing limestone aggregate. With my qualifications, I could apply for a position on a ship. I did running backwards and forwards to Australia. Got a bit fed up with that, came back, bought a boat and went down to the Mediterranean to do charter work. That particular morning, I went to get bread, these pan loaves, and whilst I was queuing up to get this bread, there was this lovely woman stood in front of me, and we had to wait a few minutes. And I said to her, I hope we don't wait too long or the bread will go stale. And she laughed. And I said, are you here on holiday? She said, yes. She said, what are you doing? I said, well, I run a charter boat. Said, oh, yes. What do you do? I said, I do diving, scuba diving. Oh, I used to do scuba diving, was her reply. So, because she was so nice, I said, well, if you've got nothing to do, you can come along as my guest. There's plenty of room on the vessel, you know. Oh, she'd love that. And that was the beginning of our romance. Excuse me if I get a bit emotional. But anyway, she joined me on that trip. And at the end of the week, when she flew back to the UK, I couldn't stand it. So I cancelled all the other charters, got onto a plane, flew back to Gatwick, got in a car. I knew where she lived. Got on a car and went out there. We arrived at her house at 7:30 in the evening. It was dark, but there was a light on. So I knocked on the door. And she opened the door and she said, David. And that was it. And then, of course, things started to go wrong with poor Lily. She started to become slightly disorientated, lose things, not be able to remember. Obviously something was not, right. So she was checked out by 3 doctors, and eventually they said, yes, we strongly suspect that she has Alzheimer's. They don't know, they know that something's wrong and they can't express themselves, it's a terrible situation. I've been advised that I needed a rest. Mm-hmm. And so they were going to put Lily into a nursing home just for a short term. And they rang up and they said, we found you a place, if you'd like for Lily to go. It's quite a long way away. Do you mind? I said, no, as long as it's a good place and she's looked after, I'd be quite happy. After all, it's only for a short time, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, that was Eden Moor in Ilfracombe. And I went over and I met Elizabeth, who was in charge at the time, and we talked it over. And then we took her up to Eden Moor. Without the suitcase, she went in and I said, oh, that's lovely. Come and see your room, Lily. You've got lovely views. And she was with it all the time. Whether she knew or not, or what, I don't know. But she never asked to come back. She never asked to come back. She was quite happy and contented there. And then she deteriorated even more, beginning not to know me. She shouldn't be here. She doesn't deserve what is happening to her at the moment. She's a lovely, lovely person. What sort of a life is this for people? But what I found, one time when I went to see her, I was sat next to her, and one of the helpers came in, and she turned and she looked at the person, and she smiled. And that told me immediately that she was happy because, she didn't recognize me, but she recognized that person. And that was lovely. It gave me all the feeling that things were right. And that's really it. I'm so deeply grateful to the way in which Eden Moor look after Lily.